On this hunt, my buddy Chris and I are taking you up to the cold mountains of the Plumas National Forest, and with us we're carrying an any buck deer tag. But this hunt, we're specifically looking for blacktail. Getting a blacktail today would complete my buddy's triple crown for getting a whitetail, mule deer, and a blacktail buck in one season. And with our deer season coming to a close, we got quite the deadline if we want to achieve this triple crown. 4 days is all the time we can spend up in these mountains, so we got to make it count. We packed our things and hightailed it out to the forest a day before opener to get a lay of the land and scout out where we want to hunt. So join us as we take our high altitude hikes down to our low valley campsite. I hope you enjoy. Alright, so we are about to get going. Just finished packing up, I hope, what is all my stuff, and start our 5-ish hour drive out to meet Chris. We'll be meeting Chris at the Cabela's outside of Reno before we lose cell coverage and head up into the mountains. But before heading up into the mountains, I had to go inside and take a look around. After I was done admiring all the mounts and fish, we headed out to the forest. The beauty of the forest never ceased to amaze me. As we climbed the mountain, we punched through the fog and reached our camping altitude of 6,000 feet. Pulling into the campground, I was stirring with excitement, daydreaming of the adventure yet to come. We arrived at the campground, unpacked our tents, unloaded the car, and headed straight back out onto the trails.
Oh, that's it.
With only a couple hours of daylight left, we stuck to the fire roads. We drove the ridges and glassed the valleys, before turning back around before nightfall. Arriving back at camp, we made some quick sandwiches for dinner and eagerly hopped in our tents, as we had one more day of scouting before the season opened. Getting up for our first full day of scouting, we headed right back to the trails that we were poking around on the evening before. The early morning fog made for a rough morning of scouting, but as we climbed in altitude, the fog dissipated and allowed for us to start our very first hike. In the early morning stillness, we glassed the opposite hillside, looking for any signs of life, when we heard a branch cracking in the adjacent valley. Immediately, we shifted all our attention to the valley, hoping to catch a glimpse of a big buck and not a black bear wandering through the forest. To my relief, Chris caught a glimpse of a big mule deer, so we carefully headed down the hill to catch a closer look. Moving quietly, Chris and I made our way across the valley floor. And that's when we started running into sign that multiple deer could be down in this valley. Not only did we find deer scat, we found tracks and a small freshwater spring with a little river running from it. Hiking across the hill, we had a pretty good idea of where all the deer will hold up. We decided not to cross the next ridge, to not bump them from the valley, so we can come back and hunt it the next day. And as it started to rain, we took that as our sign to hike back to the truck and head back to camp. Hopping in the truck and heading back to camp, the plan was to wait out the rain so we can continue scouting later that evening. Unfortunately, the rain didn't let up until well after nightfall. Making the best of the situation, we decided to cook ourselves a hot meal, then hop into our tents to get up bright and early to start hunting the next morning. The second night was bitterly cold. We woke up to a layer of frost on everything, from the cars to our tents. Despite the bitter cold, we were still eager to get up and go hunt. The morning fog that shrouded the mountains before had doubled in intensity, which made us switch up our plan to go hunt a new area. Driving out to the new spot, the sun peeked over the mountains and we were well into legal shooting light. Getting out of the car and gearing up, we hiked to the top of the ridge and our hunt had truly begun.
might be breathing hard. I've done that before. Didn't work out well. Chip shot. I'm going like this. Yeah. Makes sense.
At this mountain altitude, you tend to get a little winded, so before peeking over the ridge, we stopped to catch our breath, so if the opportunity presented itself, we would have a stable shot. And once we were rested and ready, we hiked over the ridge with high hopes of seeing deer in the valley.
Yeah. Was that 3 does? 3 does. Well, I guess we're getting to the right area, right? Yeah, we bumped them. We should have been stopping more instead of just walking. Yeah.
On our hike down the other side of the ridge, we accidentally spooked some doe mule deer, but with this new information, we hiked out to an overlook to glass the surrounding valley. Glassing with no success, we took a small hike to peek into one more valley before heading out to a new spot. And as luck would have it, there they were, a group of blacktail bedded down in the shady spot of the hill. With our hearts racing, we rushed to identify the buck hiding among the does, and upon confirmation that we saw a legal buck, we lined up the shot.
I don't see him. I lost him.
He's moving. I got eyes on him. He's broadside again behind the trees. He's going down. He's going down. Yep, he just went down the bushes. Nice f***ing shooting, dude.
Right in here somewhere? Yeah, right up here behind the tree somewhere. Right here. You see him? Yep. Great shot, Chris.
Upon locating the deer, we had officially achieved our goal of getting a triple crown this deer
What do you
season.
think?
It's legal.
Legal?
Yeah. Not the big one that I wanted, but he's legal.
Hell yeah, man. Amazing. Holy shoot. Good work, Chris.
At 230 yards away, Chris was able to place a perfect heart and lung shot to secure his triple crown and harvest his beautiful blacktail deer.
I'm surprised with a heart shot and a lung shot he got as far as he did.
No kidding.
That's far uphill.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And with such a beautiful animal, we couldn't let a single piece go to waste. By the time we were done processing this deer, the only thing left was the rib cage. Everything else got bagged up and taken home.
All right, there's that. I think that'll stay on there. Good spot, man.
That was some fun hunting.
And with over 100 pounds of meat on our shoulders, we started a long hike back to the truck.
In the rack still with the tag still on. There we go.
Oh, tell me about it, right? I still got my long johns on, you know?
A couple hours later, we had made it back to the truck and started our way back to camp.
I love just being out here. Getting something's a bonus.
Oh, 100%.
And it just makes it so much better. Like all the time, money, energy put into trips that you don't get anything. It's still fun, but just
Getting something that's like that like quadruples the
yes.
how much fun you have out there.
there's been a few times like when I'm by myself, laying in bed, wake up at 3 in the morning, can't fall back to sleep.
Yep.
And just sitting to myself, yeah, I'm not hunting anymore. I'm getting too old for this.
Back of the truck by 1 practice. Well, back of the truck by 12:50ish.
9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 3.5 hours from the shot.
Yeah.
That's really not that bad.
No. Damn, dude, we shot that deer, what, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3 hours in from when we woke up, another 3 hours of processing and hiking out.
Yeah.
Only 6 hours of total hunting for, shit, I think we spent more time driving than we spent time hunting.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
With finding success this early in the morning, we headed back to camp to take the rest of the day off. Alright, it's our last night in camp. We got our buck earlier today. Already dressed it. It's all packed up in a nice chest, and I'm gonna go ahead and hop in my tent early. We're gonna hop up early in the morning and get out of here. Getting up bright and early the next morning with another amazing hunt in the bag, we packed up our things and got ready to head back down the hill. Yet again, punching through the fog, we made our way down the hill to the gas station to fuel up before heading home. As I drove through the forest, I couldn't help but think back to the amazing hunt I was just on. From the high mountain hikes to the beautiful scenery and eventually spotting the deer that would complete the Triple Crown, this was truly an amazing hunt. Show your support by subscribing to 13 Wilderness. You can reach out to 13 Wilderness by dropping a comment under the video or reaching out on our Instagram. Thank you, and we can't wait to have you join us on another hunt.